think I should get started over here. Welcome everybody, and a good morning to you all. My name is Yash Chabria, and I run a local meetup group here in Tri-State area. Our group is mainly focused on hands-on and demos on core IoT technologies, and we've been in this since 2016. And today's session is introduction to Azure IoT Edge, which I had given. This talk I had given about a few weeks back on my Tri-State IoT meetup session. This talk is broken down into three series, and first series is just getting you. Let me put it in presentation mode. First part of this series that I'm going to talk today is a repeat from my session in December. Is in introduction to Azure IoT Edge. And the second part of this series that I'll be conducting under Tri-State IoT, feel free to join, is writing custom IoT module and deploying it to an edge device. And third part is going to be in March sometime, where I will be covering a real life use case of how how you can deploy an Azure IoT Edge solution and collect the data at the edge and process, do all the AIs and everything at the edge, and then stream up on the data at a very periodic rate to the cloud. In a simple view, I don't know how many of you have an IoT background or not, but I'll keep it very simple over here. In a simple view, you have a factory where you have a lot of sensors deployed, and those sensors are generating data, and that data is being sent over the to the cloud. And in this context, we are using Azure Cloud, Azure IoT platform. We have Azure service called IoT Hub provided by Azure that allows you to do a large amount of data ingestion over various cloud protocols, and all these uh, image sources from Microsoft Portal. So you can I have provided you with the link, and you can have a look at those things if you are interested in learning more. Um, what happened in a typical setting is that you're generating a lot of data and then you're pushing it up to the cloud, and there's a cost involved, and there is a time if we have to send in uh, command back to the factory floor from the cloud. There's a time that get consumed, and there could be a delay and all those things. To solve this problem, Microsoft has come up with something called IoT Azure Edge uh, uh, concept. Okay, what this does is it allows you to take the cloud services, uh, allows you to take all your cloud services that you have, stream analytic, custom logic, database, and not the data factory. A lot of these AI analytics down at to the edge, move it down the services to the edge device. So today I'll be showing you how easy it is for you to set up an edge device on Raspberry Pi and how you can, get started with using Azure IoT Edge. Okay. So in this, what you have in Azure IoT Edge, Microsoft provides you with uh, two runtime very important runtime components. One is called the IoT Edge module and IoT Edge runtime. The IoT Edge module are nothing but the unit of execution. Like these are all IoT Edge modules that are running. These are basically uh, similar to the cloud services. that you are running on the edge, that's collecting the sensor data and processing it and then channeling it across to different modules. Then the IoT Edge Runtime, okay, it contains two important modules. One is IoT Edge Hub that allows you to ingest data and is proxy to the IoT Hub that's in the cloud, and it allows you to perform device authentication, device thing at the edge. And it allows you to ingest data from the sensor at the edge. Sorry, I had a bad throat there. And then it also has an IoT Edge runtime management component that ensures that the services are running and any updates that need to be made, it does it for you in the background. So these are the benefits of IoT Edge runtime. So today's I'm going to be walking you through the lab over here. And it's a very simple three-step lab. What we have to do is it involves three steps. One is the cloud setup, where we are going to set up our IoT Edge module and device. Then we have the Edge setup, that is the on Raspberry Pi. We'll be setting up all the prerequisite, and this is again I'm going to be doing live demo. I have a very clean Raspberry Pi with nothing installed other than my SSH, and then I will be showing you how you can look at the data that is being simulated on the Pi using an IoT Edge, IoT Explorer, Edge, IoT Runtime Explorer. You know, I provided you important links over here. I'll be sharing this slide, all the documents you need in order to, get started. Um, if you have like a breakthrough ideas and you want to create an IoT Edge module, you can create it and then publish it through Azure IoT Edge Marketplace. Any questions so far, guys? So I am going to start on cloud setup. Basically, you need to have a Microsoft Azure account with IoT Hub subscription in it. So I'm going to log on to my portal. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I am going to create an IoT Hub. Give me 1 second. So I am going to select my IoT source group, and then I am going to give a name code camp demo hub. Okay. Then I would go in and do network. It gives you different network setting. I just select the default network. Okay. Then this is very important, guys. The private tiers, and it depends on various tiers in combination. This allows you different data rate, different number of messages that you can consume. So be careful on this. So if you want to go to S2, you see you'll have 6 million messages per day, and the charge goes up to $250,000 over here. So you just have to play around what matches your needs. And sometimes IoT Hub is not the only solution available to you to ingest large amount of data. you can use IoT Event Hub and ingest large amount of data at much cheaper cost. So please play around with that to see where your balance is. And see if you have to give any tags or anything to this device or Edge Hub. So you can set it up in here. So while it's creating this, if somebody is typing and if somebody can be on mute, I'm sorry. While it's creating, I will. So we have done this. We have done this. Okay, and next we are going to set up an IoT Edge device on the cloud side. Okay. So it's still creating over here. So deploying in progress. While that's taking place, let's see. I'm not sure why it's too slow today. So, oh, okay, create it. So let's go. ID Hub, code cam 21. And then I need to add an IoT Edge, enable IoT Edge on this. It's still creating. While it's doing that, I will switch over and do the edge deployment, and then I'll come back to this and show you how to set up the uh, remaining piece of cloud setup. So what I have over here is I have an SSH session into my Raspberry Pi, and I can share with you the blank image. I don't know where to copy it, but if you use the Raspberry Pi imager, and you can create an image for yourself and just follow the step to all your network setup and your SSH setup using Raspberry config. And I can show you quickly over here. This allows you to do a lot of your PI setting if you're not that familiar with Linux, all your networks and all some option, wireless and password, the host name and everything. So what we need to do is follow the step for the cloud for the edge setup. In order for us to set up the IoT Edge runtime, we need to add the Microsoft repository to the Pi package repository to be able to pull the required packages from the Microsoft repo. I have given you the sorry. So, and you need to copy these commands over here. So copy. These are all from Microsoft website, and I've provided you with the link and everything. So it's syncing up with Microsoft, so I do. Oh yes. So my cloud setup is done. The IoT Hub creation is done. So now, in order to enable Edge, we need to set up the IoT Hub with the Edge device. So you need to add an Edge device over here, and the code tab 31. Any questions so far, guys? So what we have done is basically set up this IoT hub for with an IoT edge device. Now what we need to do is over here. Um, we need to add um, uh, modules uh, to this edge device. Now, once we do the cloud setup and once we complete the edge setup, the IoT hub uh, edge agent, this this module will pull down the my edge device and everything based on the connection string to the edge, deploy it to the edge device. You don't have to do anything, and then you can set up your custom logic in on your edge device and deploy it. So in order to add a module, so you need to use this set module. You can add your own module or you can look it up from the marketplace. And this is what I was talking. If you have a bright idea, you want to, you know, co- commercialize it, you can sell it on Microsoft. I'm going to use a simulated temperature sensor. And if I want to add any route rule is how one module communicates with the other, how the data transfer occurs. So tomorrow, if you want to add like uh, machine vision module and attach it to your camera, you can set it up and channel the images to different processing. You can set up the routes over here. This is very simple. I created that. So this setup is done, and what I need to do is now copy this. It's still in progress over here. Next, what we're going to do is install the once the upgrade is done, I'm going to install the runtime container. Microsoft Edge uses what we call is a Mobi engine. It is an open source framework created by Docker. It allows you to do all your remote container management and everything using your Microsoft IoT, uh, your IoT Hub and DPS. Okay. Then we'll deploy the Edge runtime, and then we'll set up the device connection string that we have created in the cloud to the Edge, and then I will show you how it pulls everything down from the cloud and run for you. So let's see, 61% done. It's all live action. There's no, I did not, I just wanted to run through the what you would be experiencing when you do it in your own settings.
Hey, Yash,
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're using the Raspberry Pi 4. Would it work with the Raspberry Pi 2? Do you know whether it would support
I think
that?
it's 3 and up. I believe it's 3 and up, if I'm
Okay.
not mistaken. Or you can also do it in a VM also if you have. You don't have to have Pi, any Debian compliant thing. So if you want to like run it in VirtualBox Ubuntu or something, you can do it.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
nothing.
Okay.
You don't need Pi or any hardware for this.
Mm-hmm.
You can run it under Windows subsystem for Linux too. But the problem is if you want to connect to Windows subsystem for Linux too, the second version doesn't allows you to connect to serial ports or any thing, so you won't be able to interface to the sensors like that. You would have to use somewhat like Wi-Fi sensor or other medium to be able to get the data into the edge modules. So
Okay.
yeah, but you're not limited. Pi is the easiest one, the most widely available hardware device
Right.
for
Right.
IoT. So I just did the demo here. I have done it on a lot of other platforms too. So it's pretty good. I mean, I am seeing if you attend my February and March session,
Hmm.
Colin, then I think you'll get the feel for it. Yeah, what actually it's all about.
Right.
Uh, so
Thank you.
yeah, I'm going to install the container runtime. So and I'll post the slides up on the in the session. And edges like I work in airline IoT airline for airlines, and Edge is we don't use Microsoft Edge runtime or anything, but we're using other Linux containerization and all in airlines. It's becoming very very powerful and very very in demand. So there are a lot shortage of skills out there for Edge computing and containerization using Kubernetes and all those things. It's a great time to get into this field. I don't know why it's slow today. So sorry about that, but we have time. So
Yeah, this demo demons are out today.
it's local to my computer, right?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, there's a Docker control failure. Anyway, we'll see that what's going on there. Yeah, that's not a good sign. Let's see what goes on. This is for Windows. This is a great tool to have, and it's available free. It's called MobaTerm X. So it's a very good tool to have. So if you guys ever want to use mobile term. Okay, so we're almost done with the edge setup. So what it's telling me to do is to add my connection string to this file over here, the YAML file. What I'm going to do over here, let me see what's going on with the Docker. Oh, see. Yeah, it's okay. So, okay, done. Let's see. So, oh, sorry. Try to reboot it and see what's going on. Happening. Let me go into my portal and I need to copy this connection string. Let's see. Okay, so sudo what I'm doing is I need to tell my Edge runtime where to source my modules and that are intended to run on this runtime. So I have to set up a connection string from the my cloud setup. So and we need to paste that over here. Just to ensure it is pasted correctly. Yep, it's all good. This connection string basically contains the URI and the keys that are needed for the Edge runtime to authenticate and pull down the module. Okay, so give it 2 seconds. Go back to the PowerPoint. Okay, I need to restart the runtime. And then I need to check the copy. Okay, so it is successfully initialized. So let's see what's going on in the log. I have a typo there. Yes, it's still pulling, guys. So give it 2 seconds. So it has to pull all the three modules that I on the in the cloud. So still still has not downloaded it. So it's slowly. You see, it's slowly downloading the modules um, from the cloud. It is what I'm. It needs to download these three modules based on the connection string you have provided down to the device. And okay, so it should have some log now. It is getting up. It's priming up. It's a little slow, but while it's doing that, I need to quickly jump on to show you in um, this is a tool that Microsoft provides for you to connect from your desktop to your IoT hub and be able to visualize all the telemetry data associated with the devices connected to the hub. So you can download Azure IoT Explorer and then you can set up your hub. Over here now we need to add the connection string of our hub, not the device. So if I will go up a little bit over here and go into my shared access policy, and I am going to select this IoT hub. Normally there is a policy that every enterprise set up to read only or write only, so they would set up a custom policy over here, and I would copy the connection string. Remember, it's connection string, not the keys that we need to copy. I'll paste it over here, and that allows me to connect to my IoT hub in the cloud, and it'll give me all the devices that are connected to it. And let's switch to telemetry data and see if any telemetry data is coming from the edge device. Yeah, there you go. It is sending data. You can see that it's a JSON, and I can show you over here. Uh, that is on the edge device. Okay, that's it from my side, guys. Any questions? Let me know. That's the entire demo that I had planned to show. And if you join me in February, I will be showing how to write custom modules. You know, and I'll force this slide, correct this mistake over here to the. Okay, guys. If no questions, then I can end the session over here. Thank you.